We're going to check out, it's called The Outsider by Moon Raven, right? Is that the person's name? Yeah, The Outsider by Moon Raven Tales. All right, we're going to check this out. Requested by ATM. Here we go. Samuel, you can try Super Chat if Streamlabs isn't working. It's up to you. The Outsider. Oh, no.
Years ago, in a small, quiet town was a mass murder. Till this day, it remains unsolved.
Oh, no.
It began with a family named the McCormicks. John was a police officer and fell in love with a hometown teacher. Later on in...
Hey, Samuel, if you can't get Super Chat to work, man, at the top of the live chat, you can try that. Streamlabs. It's up to you, man. I'm not sure what to say because I think it's been working for other people.
Life, they had a son named Daryl.
Daryl.
Soon, he would have begun his first year of high school.
Wait, is it Daryl Dixon from The Walking Dead? Is it that Daryl?
His family had lived in a deserted part of the town where not much happened. In the back of his house was a small ranch and a few horses. For a long time now, Daryl was suspicious of some strange noises that occurred at night. He would ask his parents, but they would insist it was part of his imagination, or that it was part of a dream he had had the night before.
Oh, hell no.
At about midnight, Daryl quietly climbed out of his bed and made his way...
Hey there, Samuel. I put it in the chat if you want to try that, man. If not, I'm not sure why it's not working for you, man.
...way into the living room. He looked around to make sure his parents were asleep. Slowly, taking a flashlight from under his shirt.
Daryl's being a little creepy and shush.
He had his suspicions that someone else was in the house. His body was detecting this as well. However, this night, he didn't see anyone. This isn't the same feeling he had before. Ever since he was little, he had always had the uncanny ability to know when a stranger was in the house. This didn't happen with...
Wait, what? Hold on a damn minute. Did the story just say ever since he was little, Daryl had the uncanny ability to know when someone was in the house? How many times has there been, like, a break-in in Daryl's house where someone broke in? Let me go back.
Ever since he was little, he had always had the uncanny ability to know when a stranger was in the house.
Oh, how many times has a stranger been in Daryl's house? Poor Daryl, geez. I guess people break into his house every week.
This didn't happen with family members. But when someone outside his bloodline was next to him, Daryl would get unexpected nosebleeds, regardless of whether or not he was scared.
It's 11.
At school.
The nosebleed. It's 11 from Stranger Things.
Well, he had told his friends, and they all believed he was a witch. Disappointed, he started to think that maybe he was crazy, and his parents were right.
Daryl, are you crazy?
He began to head back to his room. Looking up on the windowsill, two bright red bloodshot eyes were staring back at him. Daryl
no.
quickly flashed the light up on the unknown creature.
No.
With a loud howl, it quickly vanished out of sight.
Well, that's freaking creepy.
Daryl ran over to his parents' room and nearly broke down the door. When they opened the door, Daryl rushed inside, yelling at them. It took both parents to restrain him, trying to understand the situation.
What the hell's going on, Daryl?
Petrified. Daryl tried to explain the best he could. He told them that there was a creature outside. He would never forget its red, bloodshot eyes.
It's probably the frickin' rake. Looked like the frickin' rake.
His parents began to think their son had gone mad and talked about having him put away. They decided to let their son stay at the neighbor's house.
They sent Daryl to the neighbor's house. They're like, we don't want our own son Daryl living in our house. They sent him over to the neighbors. These are some bad parents.
Until they could figure out what they were going to do. Waking up in the middle of the night to chase down a demon that doesn't exist, John thought.
Gosh.
What should we do? He's getting worse, said Miss McCormick. Before they could try to rationalize what the best course of action should be, loud voices were heard outside their home. Outside they found the screeching sounds of petrified horses. Their hooves were up in the air. They smashed and kicked everything in their path. Their dismembered bodies were all over the place. Body parts scattered the ground. The grass was stained in blood.
What?
The owner walked up trying to calm the pasture. Buck, what the hell's gotten into you? He yelled at the horse.
Oh, heck
now
no.
Ripping the holster. The horses took one look back and kicked the owner right in the head.
Oh my
The
gosh.
smashed skull and bones fell to the ground, lifeless. Fresh blood
Oh my
ran down
God.
the owner's face as the last look on him was the face of pure horror. Miss McCormick
The dude lost his eye. Jeez. That horse must have kicked him good.
screamed, horrified, "John! John! John!" She yelled.
This
"Our
is
son,
creepy.
He's at the neighbor's house." Mr. McCormick raced back inside of his house and came back with a shotgun. He fired the gun straight into the air. In the midst of the frightening herd galloping away, a dark figure stood there.
Oh,
Not
hell
intimidated by the
no.
friendly
What is
fire.
that?
Instead, it walked closer. Its hair darker than midnight.
Ugh.
John looked at the creature and saw its fiery eyes.
This is creepy,
Almost as if he was
ATM.
looking into the abyss.
This is
of
pretty
an
creepy.
inferno. His hands were now trembling with fear, and his nervous palms attempted to hold the gun straight at the creature. But he couldn't fire. The
Oh,
creature struck the gun.
God.
John
What is that? That is freaking creepy looking. It's like a skeleton. It's got some flesh still on him. Ugh.
could now see the creature for what it truly was. Its eyes gazed down on the man, its teeth dripping with blood as it
Ew.
roared louder than before.
Happy
Its claws,
Halloween,
like
ATM.
razors, sliced the gun in two.
Oh.
Its nose pushed in. Its head looked like bones were seeping through the skin. And blood constantly dripped down
Oh, that's a good play on words. Bones seeping through the skin. Oh, that's creepy.
over its face. Everything appeared to be in slow motion for John as he remained still, too afraid to make a move. Two police vehicles pulled up from behind
Oh,
and
shit.
began to fire
It's the
almost
police.
immediately at the beast.
Get him.
Their bullets hit dead on and went right through the creature.
It's not going to do anything.
But in a terrorizing sight,
I don't think
the
it's going to
officers
hurt the
looked,
creature.
eyes wide, faces covered in sweat, to see fire burst out of the beast's chest.
What?
It slowly turned around. Magma seeping down its body ignited the field next to it. Flames
This has to be a demon. Now there's flames. This creature's straight from hell.
surrounded the beast in seconds. They fire again. The blasts blew the creature's right arm completely off. Magma flowed over the field as everyone else ran for cover. The howls shook the very land,
Jeez.
almost sounding like a small earthquake. Before they had a chance to get a second shot, the beast disappeared in the fire. Daryl raced over to his family. In the morning, everyone is sent to the police station. This is just standard procedure. We need to know what you guys were doing last night.
These stories are low-key entertaining. I'm not going to lie, ATM. I know it's just like, it's a pretty simple animation, nothing crazy, but they're pretty entertaining.
Before the incident. It's our neighborhood. We live there. The real question is, what took you guys so long? What the hell was that thing? Miss McCormick demanded. "Take it easy now," responded the officer. "You know how it is in a town like this. There's no strangers around here. That's why people come to this town, because everyone knows everyone." "Well, no one knows who or what it was we saw last night," responded John, as he walked over to comfort his wife. Just then, the two officers looked at one another and shook their heads uneasily. "Actually, we do know of him. His name is Kyle. You see, when he was a little boy,
Kyle?
his parents took him on a camping trip. While hunting for deer, Kyle's father shot him instead. He died moments later.
Oh.
The parents, grieving over the loss of their son and having no money for funeral expenses, decided to wrap Kyle in a few sheets and bury him.
Oh, God.
Afterwards, they both said a
Poor
prayer
Kyle.
and went home." "How awful! How could they do such a thing?" yelled Miss McCormick. "That's not even the strangest part. Problem is, the next day they never found a body. The grave looked like it had been dug out and the sheets were torn. Some say he ran off and lived in the woods.
What?
His vengeance for his parents is what some say.
It's freaking Kyle. Kyle the demon.
Now it looks like Kyle, after all these years, has finally found his way home." "I don't understand. Why does he want to kill us? We have nothing to do with it."
He hates you. That's
Kyle
why.
doesn't know that. All he knows is you're in his old house where he used to live.
Oh.
All the McCormicks looked at the officers.
They freaking live in Kyle's old house. Uh-oh. Time to move. Trust me, if I lived in that house. Bye, Kyle. You can live in your old house, man. You're some creature demon thing now. I'm going to move a couple states away. You have a good life, Kyle. See you later.
Terrified at the statement. That's right. He thinks that his mother and father raised a new family and Daryl here is his brother.
Oh,
He won't
what?
stop until he's the only child again. That's why he broke into your house several times. When you let Daryl stay the night at the neighbor's house, that's why all the animals were killed. Kyle was trying to get to him.
Yeah, Alex, I would move.
Dave now finally speaks, a little nervous. Shh. So how come he looks so disfigured? You shot him down. How come he's still alive? Again, the police get up and shake their heads. We have no idea. The only way of knowing...
ATM says, I would move all the way to Poland across the sea to be safe. Z-Man, how you doing, buddy? What's up? Thank you, Z-Man. You're going to be, for the member goal tonight, number 15. Thank you, guys.
Knowing that is if you ask him yourself. Daryl's parents shivered at the thought of having to go back to their small town and wait in the house. They demanded that Daryl not go back. But Daryl wanted answers, and he was determined.
Daryl, no.
His mind was already made up, and he would find another way to go get there if his parents refused.
Daryl, leave Kyle alone. Don't be a hero, Daryl, and go exploring, trying to figure out where Kyle is. Stay with your parents, Daryl. You're going to get yourself in a bad situation.
They finally reached a compromise that Daryl could go, but only if they could bring the police with them. It was settled. They arrived at the house and waited.
Hey, Samuel, what's up?
Waited and waited. Their patience grew thin. First days passed, then weeks, then months. Nothing happened. And the police grew tired, and they had other priorities to attend to. So, with no choice, the police left Daryl and his family alone in the house. Nothing had happened in so long that sometimes they forgot about the incident.
Oh, God.
Wondered if they exaggerated some of the stuff they saw that night.
Yeah, I don't think...
A year goes by.
That's exaggerating anything,
A
dude.
small gust of wind howls over Daryl's window.
Oh, God.
Before long,
Here
Daryl
comes
wakes up
Kyle.
and realizes it's not the wind making that noise. The howl grows louder and begins to sound like a wolf or a bear. He
He's
can hear
back.
footsteps now. The footsteps get closer. He can hear it on the road outside his house. Now, He can hear the footsteps on the gravel outside his house.
Oh, gosh.
Rocks crackling and being smashed. Immediately, he gets out of his bed and gets out a flashlight and a knife from under his bed. He has kept it there, preparing for a day just like this one. But now he stops hearing the howls. He looks outside, but can't see a thing. Maybe this was just his imagination, he thought. After all, his parents were still sleeping. Before he turns around to go back to his bed, his nose runs red. Drops of blood run down his face as he tries to wipe it away with his hand.
Oh, no.
But why would he have a nosebleed now? And this only happens when he can feel someone breathing on him.
A stranger's in the house.
Quickly, but only to see Kyle staring right back at him. Kyle, I know who you are. Why are you doing this? Kyle's fangs open up as he breathes down on Daryl. His red...
Kyle needs a haircut. Kyle's having a bad hair day. Oh my gosh.
Shut eyes locked on his victim. I will not be replaced, he groaned. Immediately, Daryl's parents storm into the room. John, with his new shotgun fully loaded, he aims it at Kyle. Stop hurting this family. You won't hurt anyone anymore. And as Kyle goes to turn around, a shotgun blasts right through his chest. Sparks of fire igniting the carpet on the ground.
It's gonna burn the house down.
He looks up after seeing the holes in his chest. Die! John yells. Why won't you die?
Jeez.
He says this as he fires.
The house is gonna burn down.
Begins to recover
it's Kyle's
himself,
house.
The flames sealing up his wounds. The flames in his eyes lock into his new victim. Why won't I die? Kyle asks. I won't die because I'm already dead. Now you can feel my pain. I've come back from the
Calm
grave,
down, Kyle.
so
Calm down.
I can take you with me.
It's a weird name for a demon. Kyle the Demon. Alrighty, well guys, this was The Outsider by Moon Raven, requested by ATM. Pretty creepy, bro. Thanks for requesting that. Definitely a little creepy.